Good afternoon, guys. This is Sheila D, and I am back in the kitchen again. I have a wonderful recipe for you. Since it's getting so close to the holidays, I am going to show you how to prepare a pot roast. This is an English boneless pot roast that I bought at the market, and it is fresh, guys. So look how amazing this pot roast look, guys. I mean, it is wonderful. So over here we have our flour. I have all my little season mixed up here. I got a little turmeric in here. I have a little garlic and pepper and salt season in here. My little accent, I mixed it up. I put my pepper over here in another container, guys. Okay, I got an onion over here, and I got me some cup of cloves or garlic, guys. I have a can of beef flavor broth. And that's all you're gonna need for this recipe. So we're gonna get right into the recipe because I don't want to keep you guys long. Once again, this is a boneless English pot roast. Okay, guys, let's get right into the recipe. So guys, what you can do is you want to try to take your meat tenderizer and you want to try to, let's do it like this, guys. We're going to take it off the plate and we're just going to put it on this piece of wood here, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our meat tenderizer and we're going to go in like this. I'm going to do on both sides, guys. Just beat it a little bit, okay? This is going to help your meat come out tender, guys. Now, if, guys, you don't have a meat tenderizer, I'm going to show you another way of kind of tenderizing your meat. You can get you a little knife like this or a fork, and you're going to go in like this, okay? And you're going to tenderize your meat a little bit on both sides. Or you can use just a regular fork, guys. And just go in like this on both sides. So next, guys, we're going to get into our garlic. So we're going to cut our garlic cloves like this, guys. And then we're going to go in and we're going to cut a hole into our meat. And we're going to put this little garlic in the inside. And you're going to keep going, guys. Cut you some little holes into your pot roast. And just cut you a couple pieces of garlic and just put it down in your holes, guys. Now with this recipe, guys, it's going to take a little patience because you are cutting holes into the meat and you are going to just put your little garlic in there. And just do a couple. Go all the way around, guys. Just put your little garlic in the holes. Now, pot roast, guys, take anywhere from 1.5 hours to 2 hours to cook, maybe 2.5. This recipe will turn out wonderful for you guys if you want to bake it. If you're going to bake it, put it in the oven and cover it up and let it cook for about 2.5 hours. But I am going to start mine off in a pot. Sometimes what I do, guys, I do take and cook my recipe and I brown it in the pot, guys, and then I put it in the oven for about 2 hours. I brown it on both sides. So I think with this recipe, guys, we're just going to cook this recipe on top of the stove. And after you get done putting your garlic in your holes, guys, I'm going to bring it over closer so you can see what I did. Okay, guys, you see that? All right, so now that we did that, we're going to get in to our seasons. Now I have a little container of season, and I am going to go around where I made the little holes with the garlic in, and I'm going to put a little season inside them holes. Then we are going to go around with our pepper. And we're going to do the same thing, guys. Then after you do that, guys, you're going to get your stove going here because we want this to get hot. And we're just going to put a little beef broth in here. So after you do that, guys, we're going to take our little pepper and season it up on both sides, and I'll season. Now with pot roast, guys, you gotta have a lot of season, guys. Gotta have a lot of season on a pot roast, cause you want your season to get all the way through, guys. Okay. Okay, guys, so we're gonna get into so after we season it, we got our pot over here, and it's getting hot, guys. Okay, so guys, I don't think I'm gonna have room for the whole pot roast. But I do want a little bit more meat because I have someone coming over for dinner. Move that back so you can see it, guys. So we are going to So after we get our pot roast into our pot, guys, we are going to, I'm going to cut half of this, guys. And I'm going to put it into the pot with our recipe. So as you can see, we got our nice pot roast with our garlic in there and our season on both sides. So we're just going to set this on the side. Okay. And And we are going to, now this is an English pot roast, guys, okay? So with pot roast, you can kind of brown them on top of the stove. And that's what we're gonna do. After you brown this pot roast on the stove on both sides, what you can do is put it in your baking pan and put it in the oven for about 2.5. But since this is a pot roast, guys, I want to cook mine on top of the stove, okay? So as you can see, we got our garlic stuff in the inside of our pot roast. We're going to get into season this pot roast up. We're not finished yet, guys. So as you can see, I did not use any water. I used beef broth to start off my recipe. So we're going to let that just cook up a few minutes, and then we're going to add our onions into this recipe. We're going to add our garlic, the rest of the garlic we have left, into the recipe, guys. Just throw your little garlic, whatever you have left in there, guys. I'm going to put just a little season, couple of 1/4 teaspoons of season onto this recipe. And a little pepper, guys. Now, as you can see, our pot roast is cooking up real good, guys. And we're going to turn it over. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, guys. Okay? So now that we have our pot roast cooking up, we got a little flour in this container. I got a teaspoon of flour, and I am going to mix this flour up with a little beef broth, and we're going to pour this flour into this recipe. Okay, and we're going to let that pot roast just tender. It's gonna be so tender, guys, because we're gonna put the top on it, and we're gonna let the steam cook this pot roast. We're gonna turn it over one more time. And as you can see, we got our nice pot roast cooking up, guys. We're going to turn it over one more time. And what we want it to do is brown, guys. Okay? Now, as you can see, our flour and our beef broth thickening up, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to add our the rest of our beef broth into the pot, guys. Okay. And as you can see, we got our onions, we got our garlic in this recipe. Our pot roast is cooking up. It is well seasoned, guys. Well seasoned, guys. Okay, so we're going to turn it over. And I am going to put this top on this pot roast. And we are going to cut that pot roast down low. And I'm going to let this pot roast cook for about an hour, guys. I'm going to let this pot roast cook for about an hour and a half, guys. Now you might need to add some more water to this recipe. And just let it cook low, guys. And just keep turning it. And your pot roast is going to come out great. Once again, guys, we're going to go over this recipe, okay? We got an English boneless pot roast here, guys. And we have garlic stuff in little holes in our pot roast. We have some onions and all are seasoned together. For our gravy for this pot roast, we use chicken broth and a teaspoon of flour, guys. And look how brown that is, guys. We didn't use any oils, guys. So what we're going to do, we're going to put this top on this recipe and we're going to let this cook on low for about an hour to an hour and a half. And if you want to make sure your meat is tender, cook it for about 2 hours. Really low, guys, and just let it cook up. You can serve this recipe with mashed potatoes, rice, a nice salad, whatever you want. Okay, so this is just a pot roast recipe that I wanted to show you that you don't have to put in the oven, guys. You could just cook your pot roast right on top of the stove. Okay, I'll see you on the next video, guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to everyone you come in contact with today. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.